Hey guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to scrape leads using Apollo for pennies on the dollar, enrich that data in clay.com, and use Smartly to send cold emails so you can generate thousands of meetings with your ideal customers. A little bit of context on me, my name is Devine and I've sent over 1 million cold emails over the course of 3 years. So without further ado, let's get into the video and explain. So jumping into Apollo.io, if you guys don't know what Apollo is, essentially it's a platform that you can find leads in. Super affordable right off the bat. And what I did in this scenario was actually look for people. I want to find people essentially that are directors of sales, directors of marketing, founders, CROs, and I want them to be in the United States. And their company employee size has to be anywhere from 1 to 200 employees, and they have to be using HubSpot as their CRM platform, along with a specific funding stage that I want. And you guys will see just in a sec why I wanted to put all this together, but. It popped out like right around like 8,000 leads, which is pretty good right off the bat. But if you wanted to export this out of Apollo, it's going to cost a lot of money and there's limitations around their export. So what I went ahead and did was actually copy this entire URL and actually put this into exportlist.io. And export list is like very cheap. So in this case, like you can export like up to like I think 50,000 leads if you wanted to. In this scenario, I just had 8,000. So it exported that and I think it costs like right around $28, which is very affordable. Like if you just do the math, like per lead, it'll be like, pennies. So it's like super good, right? So it created a list and sort of like just show you like what the list looked like. It's this entire list of 8,000 leads. We had their emails for some of them, we had their job titles, where they're located, first and last name, their LinkedIn, all that good stuff. It's a bit of a messy list, to be honest, but we want to clean this up. So what I went ahead and did was actually imported this into clay.com. If you guys don't know what Clay is, essentially it's a platform. Think of it like spreadsheet on steroids where you can connect a bunch of data providers and make your data way better. So that's what I did. So I put this entire list into Clay. And the first thing I actually went ahead and did was actually do a quick dedupe in Clay using that person's LinkedIn URL. So what a dedupe does essentially, like if that LinkedIn profile appears twice in that list, it'll just get rid of it, or 3 times or 4 times, and it'll just keep the first one. The reason I did that is because I don't want to later on find their emails for the same person like twice, right? Or 3 times. It's going to cost me money. And ultimately, I don't want to be sending like the same email like 2 or 3 times to the same person, right? So I did that, and like it kind of like, shortened the list to like, I think from like 8,000 to like 6,000 or so, or 7,000, which is pretty good because we want to like clean that up a little bit. Second thing I went ahead and did was I wanted to normalize their company names. So like what Clay actually does is pretty cool, but like essentially like all these like names of the companies are kind of weird. And ultimately, if you want to put this in a cold email, we don't want to be like saying like, weird names. For example, like we don't want to say like, CMX1 and then just put parentheses compliance metrics. Like that's not the company name. It's just probably just CMX1. So that's exactly what this does. It normalizes the company name. And the funny thing is, this doesn't cost any money. This is free, right? So you guys will see like it removes like LLCs, it removes inks from the company name. So that's what it actually did. And it spit out like the normalized company names. And the second thing I actually went ahead and did was I created a formula in Clay to essentially combine their billwith.com / and then their domain name. So domain name was already provided from the original list. But the reason I did this was I actually wanted to like go ahead and find out for sure if they're using HubSpot or not, right? So this is free to do, by the way. So like you guys can, like every BillWith URL is free for each company if you just got like, if you put that search parameter in there. But so you guys will see like, for example, like we're using HubSpot, right? I just did this twice just to double check if they're going to be using HubSpot. So if Apollo is saying they're using HubSpot, BillWith is saying they're using HubSpot, I'm pretty confident they're using HubSpot, which is exactly what I need in this scenario. But the way I found this out at scale was using Claygen, which is Clay's native AI agent. So essentially what I prompted it to do was visit each specific BillWith URL and determine if at any point it says HubSpot. If it does, just come back with yes, right? So it did that, and I think from that we were able to like narrow down the search a little bit more. So like there was like some no's in there. And then that scenario, I don't want to like email them, right, and say like you're using HubSpot, for example, but this makes me confident that they are. So moreover, what I wanted to do was actually like find out who they sell to, like what industries they sell to, and like what specific personas. So again, what I had Clay Agent do was like visit each specific website, and essentially like you guys can like pause the video and check out this prompt. I'll also be linking it in the description. If you guys sign up for my newsletter, I'll be putting that out. But essentially it's a prompt telling it to go and find out who the ICP is. So in this scenario, like just to get this example, we can see like this specific company, if we just copy this and put it into Google. So yeah, so like what we can see, like for example, they create AI videos that engage with their audience, right? So like to my guess, like they're probably targeting software companies, and at any point, let's just see if it says, if they have marketers using the platform. Yeah, so like if we scroll down here, we can see like, engaging AI avatars for any team, and it says marketing, right? So like marketers are the ones using this platform, also salespeople, but mostly marketers. That's the first thing that pops up. So essentially in this scenario, what Clay did was it popped out like, yes, they're using, or yes, they target software companies and they're targeting VPs of marketing, right? So like this is very good because we want to know who these these companies are actually targeting. And you guys can see like, we have this like for every single company based on the personas they sell to. And the reason I did this was ultimately I want to cold email and put this in Smart Lead and essentially say like, hey, and then just put their specific name. Saw that their company is using HubSpot. Curious to know if you're using any tools to enrich your CRM data so your reps are spending their time in the right areas. Clay helps you find and enrich data across 100 data providers and natively connect to our platform. Want to check out a list of every, and then parentheses, who they sell to, the person and industry, along with their contact info, with a quick video on how easy it is to get that info. So essentially, like what the premise of this email is, I want to contact them and I want to pitch Clay, just as an example. And I want to say like, hey, I saw you guys are contacting these guys. You guys are going after these types of personas. I can get you a quick list of every single VPs of marketing in the software companies. And here's like a free video of like, how I did that at scale. Are you interested in Clay or not? That's sort of the gist, right? Knowing that all that information that I just pulled in from Clay, you can do this very easily. So jumping into Smart Lead, you guys will see just an example. I exported this and I just put this in Smart Lead. But for example, in this scenario, we got like, quick question, Martin. We can say like, hey, Martin, saw that D-ID is using HubSpot. Curious to know if you're using any tools to enrich your CRM data so your reps are spending their time in the right areas. Clay helps you find and enrich data across 100 data providers that natively connect to our platform. Want to check out a list of every VP of marketing in the software industry, I should put industry, along with their contact info, with a quick video on how easy it is to get that info. Right, so you guys will see like, this is pretty cool, right? Like obviously like we're pitching sort of great value here. And it all started from that cheap list. Obviously, if you have 8,000 leads to go off of, you guys would kind of see like how good this is to scale. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. But this is just a quick, fun video for you guys to like use, and it's pretty easy to do and build out on Clay. I'll be linking some stuff in the description for you guys to check out as well that you'll definitely find value from. But let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.